Hello everybody and welcome to the Oceanink series. Are you a quid? Are you a squid? Does it really matter? No it doesn't, because today's games we are looking forward to seeing both squids and kids alike in the battlefield here. We have Inkpact versus Kaiyo. Now these two teams are doing I would say fairly well in terms of the battlefield as of late, and they're gonna show us here why exactly that is. So without further ado, let's just go into the match here. So instead of hearing me talking about why, you get to see for yourself. And on the back here, we do have Hess also helping us once again with all of the overlays and even just the camera work. So shout out to him as well. So right now we're going into the battle here. We have a custom dually sculpture, Kensa, Splash Up Pro, MZ, Flatling, and at the end we have quite a collaboration of other stuff with the Sheldon Picks and as well as Kensa. And already we see here doing a bit of push out. Two of them actually done. Even though CB has gone on the Rainmaker there, we have gone to the teammates down this team that added a second. And also they have lost that. Now we've only the custom from all the way there when it came up. It is not really a good time to get it. You get back out there. Like it's going on. Now, do you know why I say that? It is hyper fast, back to back, noom, right? It's almost a landslide. That's what you're gonna expect. Phenomenal teamwork. And while I say that, I'm sure you're thinking like, okay, so why should I really care that much? It's a complete landslide. We didn't see any teamwork for the other team. Hey, I'm telling you now, we need to warm up, right? Skill Pavilion is also not a map that you really want to see yourself losing anyways, because it's, like I said, a landslide. So let's just see how it powers up from here, alright? So very quickly, I want to talk about a few of the players. For example, Chihuahua and V-Bird. Those two have been shown to do exceptionally well, pushing in with their team, almost like they're like the forefront of the team. But the whole idea here is that Phil has been taking them out with exceptional skills on the dualies right here. Is ultimately clearing out every single one of them. I have no words for it. It is really hard for you to see like your entire team go down to one player and he's just darting around you. It's almost like he's like waiting for you. Okay, come in for me, I'll just keep dodging you, and then when you are now your blind spot, I'm gonna wrap around you and then hit you down. It is phenomenal. The movement here is phenomenal. Now, new Avocado Hotel, we might see the return of the dualies right here, especially since there's grades. So if you hold your shoot and you press B, most dualies you're able to move around. I think that's common knowledge for some of the players here. So I'm just giving it a brief rundown about it. But that's the thing, right? When that happens, and you're on grades, you essentially have like a speed boost to an extent, and that becomes very, very good on New Albacore Hotel. But there's also a few weapons that could excel in this area, because in Splatzo's New Albacore Hotel, it's a small zone that you want to capture. So there's always the idea of having, your range setups, and as well as your Explosions maybe, because Explosions having a great AoE effect also has bubbles. And then it becomes an interesting thing from there. So let's just see how it goes from here. Alright, Splatzone's New Albacore Hotel. And as I said, we do see the Explosion coming into play here, but also a lot of switch on the other team. We do see another and as well the 25 on the other hand, we don't see much game except for maybe some one squadron, now we see two squadrons, but custom two squadrons takes his hand here. And all the way there, we also see another shelter space. Now these two are there with Kaiyo was close to getting it there, but they didn't really make an impact. You get what I mean? And it's unfortunate too because they got a very good lead from there, and then it got stuck down there. And that was the biggest problem. Because the minute you left your Splatling and your Explosion, you were stuck holding on to it. And you can even see that the opposing team, Kaiyo, hold on so well, having so much splats. They knew what they were looking for, whether they wanted to take on the opponent, they wanted to take on specific targets instead of just taking on all. They could have Mikun down there holding on to the point and delaying it, but ultimately you are still going to be in the lead even if they slow you down. If it's not a full takeover, they're still in the lead. And that's exactly why. So it becomes a game of who do you want to pick. It's like eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I don't want this player on my zone. So let's just see what they're gonna carry on with this time. Because in Clan Blitz Worldwide Warehouse, like I said, these two teams act exceptionally well when it comes on to teamwork, and we do see that. When it comes in, you can see it from just now. Mikun holding it down, letting a team slowly come back together to reform. Good play there. We see Kaiyo going in with their specials, not just one at a time. They know what to combo and at what time. When they see the bubbles start to shrink, they make their Inkstorm is just a hit, so that it will help retain the bubbles. As since there's like a barrier in front of them, they know how to combo this, and that might be the very reason they might be able to push. In a map that's so narrow like Walleye Warehouse, it becomes a game of flank in that sense. Sure, you could cover one end of the map, but what if I came around you and tapped you on the shoulder and tell you, no, you can't do that? You know? So it comes down to the, I would say, more aggressive team in this sense. And that's where I think, personally, Inkpact might just make the difference. So that is exactly what we're looking forward to. We're gonna see our Game 9. I believe in the Game 9 hype. Okay, it's unfortunate I don't have someone here to tell me otherwise, so that I can prove them wrong, but I can prove myself wrong. Okay, we're gonna see the Game 9. And right here, let's just see the team compositions once again. Already, we don't see much of a change. We do see Ink Armor coming back from the Anzac choice. So that might be a very good option here, because they might be wanting to just push forward instead of just like maybe just I'm gonna structure everything. And then we do see the crush. So the choice in Clan Blitz, because while you're able to run around, you're also able to get quick kills. And that's a very good option. You don't get too early, you get really damage. And because of defense, but the also spawn is always really good. Amazing job right there. Are they going to push it anymore? I'm going to see it very soon. Because look at that. That's all going on. Unfortunately, taking it out. Having on that, we could take out as well. Push down into the from this here. Moving on to the range. Maybe they're going to do something here. Phil might have to just take over this. Because moving too much might be the Green here is trying to bait something else. They're trying to bait someone. Unfortunately, it's the right idea, but it just stops there because they know what they were doing. The Booyah Bomb comes in and denies them of any chance to move in. Good play by both teams. It's just that one team had the counter. They could holding it back here. Nice nicely done. We could protect the hands right there. Almost getting hit by the platform there, but we could steadily hold the ground, hold it down, good enough. Booyah Bomb comes in again. This was the very reason why they got any points in. So it might be a little bit they can try to slug it out. Unfortunately, the next Booyah Bomb that was coming in was just a tad bit too slow. They could have taken it more. But as I say that, Hans is already pushing it, right? So there we go. Now let's move in here, quickly moving in with another time ball. Let's just see how it goes here. They might want to use the rain to move in, and if I say that, yes. Now they're going to push into the left side so they can hold everyone down to the choke. This is a very good play by them, but unfortunately everyone is already prepared to see that, and they saw that, you know. They put the rain down there, I think I'm going to expect it from the other side. That's a good intuition by their team, and they play on it really well. Chihuahua here, almost getting splattered by the brush. Just very close from it. And here we go, the brush comes back into it. Trying to get Chihuahua here, but unfortunately it's missing back. Both of them getting caught off. They doing something, just trying to go in for it. They're just moving back and forth, and then unfortunately I think they spotted a pattern, goes in for it. They're now... Oh, the element is that one a bit, and it does get something in here. We do see a push in eight by Kaiyo. Nicely done. We're gonna see something work down here. Even here, unfortunately, taking that down, and Kaiyo's just pushing in. 57 points isn't enough, however, but that might be the problem right there, because now that they have Legend got that much a lot, they know they're not gonna do that again. Alright, so let's see here. Rain with the Booyah Bomb once again. Let's see how it goes here. They're holding it down. They want to delay it with the armor. And right there, you do see that he takes Hans out. Brave Kaiyo taking out Hans is phenomenal because Hans is out. Having the mobility to move in, it definitely gives them an option here, but with Ray taking them out, that means Ray is effectively going to push in for that, but unfortunately, some of them were just ready for it. No push there again. 16 climbs on there, and they have technically one super climb. They have to push it for it. So let's just see how it goes on from here, and I think it's going to be... It might be a landslide here as long as Kaiyo pushes in, right? So let's just see how it goes. 9, 8, they do have a climb ball here. They might be able to work something out. Unfortunately, we do see that once again, Krieg moving in blocks it off. So let's go. They see overtime here. Let's just see if they can push it. They do have the 10 missiles. Oh, we do see it on their end. They have to push it now. They have the opportunity. They have to push it. They have 2 balls. 2 balls means they can easily win. Unfortunately, they almost get caught there. V-Bird was so close to making it in. Unfortunately, fighting against Mikun was not a good option here. With the Splatling going rat-ta-ta-ta-ta, you don't want to be on that end of the rat-ta-ta-ta-ta. So, like, that's it. They knew what they're doing, it was just stuck there. Unfortunately, Kaiyo takes 1 down. It's gonna be hard. But definitely say that team composition, Inkpact, they got it. And Kaiyo has the strategy. It's how you want to place yourself versus how you want to maximize your advantage on knowing what weapons to pick. Already gives you an insane advantage. For example, if you pick like Explosion in Gobi Arena, sometimes your shots might hit the top of the ceiling of the map, and that's not good, right? But if you were to pick maybe like the Splatling, you already have an advantage, and that's it. They know what to do. But on the other hand, the opposing team just knows where to place themselves and what to pick up, and that makes it an exceptional game because it's a battle of wits. Who can outwit the other strategy? And that's what I think Inkpact is trying to do, playing on the strengths more. But right here, the next map we do have is Kelp Dome Tower Control. We're definitely not gonna see Ray go back with the Explosion here, though I would love to see that. It is just not feasible to like really do that, especially on Tower Control where your objective is always moving. Your objective is constantly shifting from you, and you want to use the explosion to take the center control more. So if this was tower, if this was flat zones, maybe the explosion might have made a return, but I don't think that's gonna happen, right? So let's just see. Maybe an ink armor. Yes, an ink armor for the NZ. That might have come in from just now, and Tony can say Gal. That's another one I would like to see come back. Those two were making exceptional plays there. I think we can make that one work once again. Here we go. Next round comes in. We do see a bit of a change here. Chihuahua going with the original Slosher here. The one with the Tenta missile. And we do see Quippy with another set of Tenta. This time because I'm not using the custom dually squatches, but just the regular one. So I'm surprised to see that happen here. Is it a bad choice? Maybe. In Kelpstone, because of all the greats here, the Tenta missiles just becomes a bit overshadowed in a sense. Like having the greats blocky here, like for example, that tower right there now is underneath the greats. You throw out the Tenta missiles, it's not gonna get anything. But as I say that, they're just pushing in for it. They're not gonna give a damn just what happens. They're just trying to get splats in, push in slowly, and make it work here. And they need to reposition, however, because we do see Kaiyo trying to make a push here, and they do have the turf control. However, the left side here is becoming a bit more stuck here. Now, I want to talk a bit about the Rapid Blaster that we see down here, the Rapid Blaster Pro. A very good option here in terms of trying to pick off your opponents from the corner here with the blast radius, which is really good. Mikun coming in with the Booyah Bomb here. Now we do see a bit of control back and catching Ray off. It seems that Mikun and Ray have been like neck and neck at each other, you know? When I sweat you, you sweat me back the next turn. And that's a very interesting thing to see here. It's a pretty interesting long-range dynamic. And that's good because that means your team is aware of not just in front of you and what's directly in front of you. They know what's behind, they know what to look out for. And it becomes a battle of like, do I want to go for your opponent first? Do I want to take the long range out first, or do I want to take everything in front of you and make you scared? So you have to retreat. But as I'm saying that, they are now past checkpoint 1. This game is really stacked against them, you know, because having Tenta missiles there, like I said, not the best choice that you want to be on. And it becomes like a liability to have Tenta missiles. As much as you can spam it fast, it just becomes this issue of, oh, if I'm going to throw Tenta missiles, I mean, is it really useful? At best, I'm giving my the location of my opponents to them, but that's all I'm going to do. When my opponents are visible already, do I really need to be even more visible? You know, it's like putting a giant red dot smack center of your opponent and tell them, hey, it's over here. I can see them though. And right here, we do see the Tenta missiles come into play, and there we go. You see, right there, you do see the Tenta missiles being blocked off, but again, we do see another Tenta missiles war come in here. Both teams are using Tenta missiles, which is interesting in my eyes. I don't really see that often in Capcom. But enough of what that being said, we do want to see how this will play out. Booyah bombs have been another prominent fact in this map, especially being it so small and narrow, and that's interesting. Right here, we do see Chihuahua coming back into the field here with a V, but putting a suction bomb, hoping to hold on to that point here and not allow anyone to come in. And catching them off right there. Nicely done. Chihuahua with that nice slosher shot right there. Keeping him out, taking a trade, however. Mikun is still holding on to that point down there, giving them a bit of a hard time to move in. And as they reach checkpoint 1, unfortunately they're back. Inkpact is just holding them down, not giving them anything to move in. And Chihuahua missing 2 shots. 2 slosher shots. That is really, really bad. You don't want to miss 2 shots. It is never good to miss 2 shots to the Slosher. Heck, it's never good to miss any shot to the Slosher. With its slow fire rate, it's always a terrible decision to miss. Suction bomb there, nearly taking out Hans here, and nicely done though, avoiding it, taking the opportunity to move back to recover some of its health here and move in again. Hans is back on the field here with his Special Pro, and Mikun going aggressive here, pushing it. Unfortunately, that's the wrong play here because it just gets denied by the dually squatches, not allowing him to go in any further. And we do almost see a pseudo white here. V-But is holding out a point and it's struggling. We do see that missed here, blocking them off, not giving you any more time to move in and out. Movement speed is key for Splatling. You get stuck there, you're gone. You don't have anything to do, you're gonna get cornered, you're gonna get flanked. It is not something you want to be on the other side on. And Booyah Bomb ensues once again. We do see Chihuahua and Ray pushing in forward against Kree and Mikun here, and Phil is just trying his best to like hold on to the support role here in that sense, but it's not making anything of it. And V-But holding on to Stingray. We gotta see V-Bird use the Stingray eventually, especially in a position like this where everyone's straight in a line. It might be a good time to start using it, so that they can do an advantageous push here instead of having to hold back. And once again, we see the thing come out. No, V-Bird knows the position, decides that I'm gonna try and take it out instead of using the Stingray. It's a better option for me, and it definitely benefits the entire team if I can take him out. Unfortunately, missing 2 shots, I think, caused untimely splat for him. And right here, we do see 75 to 52 isn't a really good lead, but I think Kaiyo wants to do something about this. They're holding on to that point. Ray is now the lead player in terms of power. So let's see how it goes here. Ray getting taken out by the Tenor missiles, and that's unfortunate because that Ray was the only person on the tower now. The minute Ray was down, Ray got splat. Anyone could have gone on and ended the game there. Unfortunate. But that means we do see that both teams are neck and neck in each other. Inkpact is now making a comeback with 2 points to Kaiyo's 2 points. I'm sorry if that was an unintentional pun, but you know what? The amount of splats coming from both teams is phenomenal. More so because they're just going for picks. If you can't pick everyone off one by one, you're not going to be able to push in. So I want to talk a bit more about the next map here. We have the main Starfish main stage here with Rainmaker. Now, with the new change to Starfish main stage a while back, the map expansion, it has made it a bit harder to move in, especially with a few added walls. A bit hard to, shoot opponents on your side. If you have a weapon that lobs over, that's still fine. But with Rainmaker, that kind of defeats the purpose, the wall being there, because you can shoot it over, and then that's it, right? So Rainmaker in this map, it's a lot to do with defending and positioning. Because if you can get a few good Rainmaker shots, you're almost always going to pick off 1 or 2 players in this map specifically, because they're not going to expect it. And the minute they see the bomb, they'll be like, crud, it's there. And when it blows up, I mean, sure, you could potentially survive. I'm not saying you can't, but I'm saying that if you're on the other end, I don't think you'll be able to do much, right? So that's the... I guess that's the gimmick in this mode, especially when you're in Starfish main stage. Alright, and here we go. Let's just see what they pick. Not much change, but this time we do see a disconnect. Okay. Never mind. But let's just talk a bit about the weapons first. Hilmore and Ray. Now, we do see a switch in from Hilmore. And now we have 2 Tony Tensei Splash Shot Pros. What is the plan here? They have Tenor missiles to take on the Rainmaker's shield. I think that's what they're doing. And the 2 Booyah Bombs, I think it's mostly to supply an infinite amount of Tenor missiles in that sense. If you keep booyahing and then you throw the missile, I think that might be what they're going for. I'm not too sure. But I still have to see the other team as well, because we're short of 1 player there. And that might be the very crucial thing that we need to see in order to make any judgment from here on out. So let's just see what the next pick is first before we carry on. So while we wait for the next player to come in, I think it's an interesting point to note that the switch in was an interesting one. We do see that, how do I put it? That they want to go for more control in terms of more of turf control. When you splat the Rainmaker shield, you not only just break the barrier, you also make like a little puddle for you to like go into, or for your team. So maybe that's the plan, and Booyah Bomb having such a big radius becomes a big issue for your opponents as well. And I think that might be the very, very big reason why they go in. And hello to Hero there. We're going into the next game here, game 5. It's still pretty close. It's a pretty close call from both teams, neck and neck. How will it go? I want to see. Now, we did see that V-Bird still going in the heavy splat, right? Oh yeah, let's get some Game 5 hype here, because, we're not in seeding tournament, but Game 5 hype. But, right, as I was saying, V-Bird here with the heavy Splat Link might be... I would say it's an interesting pick, because Starface main stage isn't narrow per se. It isn't like Walleye Warehouse. It is the opposite of Walleye Warehouse. And that's kind of the thing here. So, how would this work for V-Bird here? I'm not too sure. Maybe he's really trying to use the Stingray as a scare factor, or maybe V-Bird is really confident and wants to go in for like a few snipes here and there, like just taking them out, splatting everyone. That I forgot to also mention that a lot of the opponents here at Inkpact have a lot of movement options. A lot of their weapons are really small, they move fast, so they can avoid Stingray fairly easily. So that might be an interesting one. The only one I can think of that Viva might be really trying to go for is Mikun. Maybe trying to get a revenge kill back from Ray here. So how would this work out? I'm not too sure. But we're gonna look at it just in a bit here while they finish up their preparation here. There we go. So I've already talked about some of the weapons, so let's just see how the next pick is, right, for our fellow member here. We see a weapon change, question mark? Or was it a DC? But maybe it's an accidental pick here. I'm not sure if that's within the rules here. Humor, it changed his weapon, I'm not sure. But we'll check in that later. But the switch to Tony Tensei Splash Shot is an interesting one here. Splash Shot has been a traditional weapon for most players going aggressive, and Humor has been one of those players we've seen going to go for splats here and there, taking off the picks here. Mikun with the Rainmaker here, a pretty good choice for the opponent team to take on, because Mikun has been exceptionally well when it comes to long range weapons, and I think the Rainmaker is no exception to that. Nicely done here, taking out Humor and trading, however. But that 17 points left, that lead is huge. That's amazing. It's an 82-point lead that they have, 83 points lead they have to go through. Ray, the long range of their team, and Anchor might be a good choice to pick as well. And they lose the Rainmaker because they want to reset it. It's a good choice by Ray here because they want to reset it, and if they pop the bubble, the barrier there, look at the amount of zone they cover back. Unfortunately though, we do see a lot of flankers here now. Phil is holding down the turf here, and on the other end, we do see Drill going for the splats here with the sploosh. Good choice here, they're going to push in slowly. So let's go here. Booyah Bomb by Phil. Are they going to deny some zone here? Look at that. Nicely done with Mikun here holding down the point with his charge shots. And then the Booyah Bomb on the other side, it's kind of blocking them off. They have to move back. They can't move anywhere else. It's move back, move forward. And move back to save us, because if you move forward, that's it for you, right? You're going to get caught. And right here, we do see the exceptional teamwork, as well as the fact that they knew what they were doing, the control. Right again, we do see another landslide down. Before we had Rainmaker on the Pavilion Towers there. And similarly, it was a complete landslide. I just don't see how this could possibly be any worse. This might be their best mode up to date. Because we do see that they're excelling so well that they don't give them a chance to move in any way at all. They're stuck. So Inkpact taking that win right there, right? And it's kind of funny because Kaiyo was the one who was leading on the other end of the Rainmaker game before. And we still have one more in game 9. Because looking at Rainmaker games, I think these are the games that you want to see, like who's going first, who wants to move in faster, right? So that's going to be interesting to watch out and look out for. And more importantly, it's more interesting to see a game 9, right? Because you want to see another 1, 2, 3, 4 games, right? So let's just see how it goes from here. And Trophy Games is next on Splat Zones. Exceptionally good map for Bubbles. I mean, let's be fair here. Bubbles has always been good for Splat Zones, so nothing to say much there. And Explosion has generally been a pretty popular choice for Anchovy games. So Ray might be coming in with the Explosion here, as well as Viva going back to the splatter, the heavy splat link. That's a very good choice by both teams. Maybe we'll see Quibi on the custom dually scorchers with the raid, and Humor once again going back to the Tony Kensei Splash Shot Pro. So let's just see how it goes from here. Mikun might also be going back to the Sheldon's picks here, heavy splatling. But for the rest, I'm not too sure. Kree might be going for brush and going for sling this time though. That's my prediction for this. But predict no more because we're going. And already we do see an overwhelming difference in their composition. We do see a baller coming in the form of the Tony Kensei Doolies, as well as the Gal, a pretty interesting switch here. Rain going in with the Splatter Shot Pro here, Tony Kensei version. And on the other end, we do see a lot of close range offense options. We do see the Tony Kensei Jr. coming into play, and we also see the Swoosh-O-Matic coming back once again. Already they have 3 special down, 10 missiles, bubble blowers, splash down, right? Are they gonna break the bubbles is my question. I don't think they want to because they definitely want to keep that as a sort of barrier. Right there, they lost the lead, lost control, unfortunately. But that 7 points overflow, it's not too bad. Humor is now trying to push in. I think he's in a bit of a bad position here, having to fight 2v1, but not only that, it's also really hard for him to do anything. But nicely done, Humor gets the bubble, his baller up, not bubble, and gets 2 picks off. Nicely done. Booyah bomb. There we go. Booyah. Booyah. We're going in for it. Ray is pushing in once again, and they have full control again. Kree is slowly trying to push in with it, and unfortunately doesn't get anything off. They lost the lead. They lost the lead. It's unfortunate to say. But Humor being taken out by Phil here might be exceptional here because Humor has been moving in and going for slays and prey here. They just slowly go in for it. Phil is trying to hold back the point here. It is neck and neck. They're like halfway in between. And if Viva doesn't break the bubbles here, they might not get anything happen. Because right there, if the bubbles had popped on the zone, that's it. It is going to be back into their favor. They're going to continue counting down their points. And as I say that, again, they do get back into it. Inkpact is now holding on to that zone. Nicely done. The team is organizing themselves to just like slowly pick them off. They don't need to move in. They just need to slowly back off and like give them a bit of a, you know, they have a tough time. We do see the torpedoes slowly coming in here and pushing back, and that lead is once again back and reset. Now we are 43 points, 40 points, and we do see Viva throwing the Booyah Bomb onto the point. Unfortunately with that, they were countered by another Booyah Bomb, throwing it just in advance so that when Viva lands, he's not in the center. Unfortunate, but hey, you win some, you lose some. They did manage to hold the point for some amount of time, didn't lose control, but that was not enough because there's nobody trying to press the advantage. And with Mikun over there holding down with that heavy splatling, it is really hard for them to do. And there we go. Game goes to Impact. The score is now 2-4. Kaiyo's gonna do something about it. You know. Now see, I like to pick one team and advocate them, but sometimes you need to pick the other team. Because personally, the team I pick is the Game 9. Team Game 9 hype. So I want to see it return. Come on, bring it back to me. Bring me the Game 9. I think Kaiyo can win the next 2 games. Because I don't want to see a giant landslide from Impact side anyways. Oh, connection to host has been lost. I think they had to like take a break. This is their way of saying we're gonna reset the lobby and then we're gonna take a break. Okay, the lobby is the issue here. It's not me. And right here, I think like having a reset also gives them time to really, well, in a sense, rest a bit. You know, with them having to like refresh themselves, not look at the game a bit, maybe they might do something about it. So let's see how it goes from here. So what are your thoughts on the games as of now? With week 1 coming to a close already, we do have quite a lot to look forward to. Kaiyo versus Inkpact has been an interesting one because they've been going back. And it's not like an utter landslide, even though Impact has won 4 games in a row now. It has always been a very hard or a clutch win for the most part. And that's kind of interesting. So let me know what you think about the games here, because personally I think Kaiyo has made a valiant effort to push in, but Impact is just making it smart. And with that being said, let's just go into what else we have here. We have a Alright, I'm just checking in. We might have a switch actually from Kaiyo, because Kaiyo, like, if you're looking at it right here, they do have a giant roster, and I'm not sure. We haven't seen a lot of switches from them, but with Healmore coming in just now, that was their first switch, and maybe they might see a bit more in terms of composition-wise. So that's gonna be good. Or maybe I'm being relayed false information. Who knows? It might be a trick for me to just tell the other team like, oh hey, they're gonna switch, but in actuality they're not. So that might be something to look out for. Might be a bit too sneaky for my own good, right? Alrighty, let's see how it goes. We are waiting for the lobby to be remade, unfortunately. I don't think it's just a break for them now. I think it's more so it had an internet error. Just a bit of a net error. You know? Not cooperating is not exactly the best thing you can have when you're playing a tournament, right? So we'll just give them a bit of time to work things out. And already we just need, I want to talk a bit about the plays just now. Hikari from the Inkpact here. Going in with the brush here. Inkmine and Baller on the clan bits. That was a pretty interesting take there, because that gave them a lot of the advantages they needed to push in forward. And I would like to see a bit more of that in the next round, because it was an interesting play. He wasn't really going for splats here, he was really just going back and forth for it. So that might be a pretty interesting thing to look out for. But also on that note, we have Healmore coming back, most likely, and if Healmore is coming back, then we're gonna see a dually, right? We're gonna see a Tony Kensei dualies. And that might be the most interesting thing I've ever seen. I've not seen a lot back in the day when it first came out. And seeing it now just makes it much, much more interesting. For me, at least.
Alright, can you guys hear me?
Alright, is that Hess?
It is me, yep. So there was an issue earlier where I think the second match actually got recorded incorrectly, so it is actually 5-1 to
It's 5-1?
Yep, that's correct.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright, my mistake here.
No, that's my mistake too.
I
I actually
was a bit too
recorded it down
hyped.
as that as well. But
Oh well.
yeah, so congratulations to Inkpact there. We will be returning in about 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yep, for our next set of matches, and that will be... Who did we say that
I
was
can't
again?
wait.
That was Hikari versus Reink. So Goizord will also be jumping into commentary, so I'm assuming we'll have Ryan and Goizord for that one, so that'll be good.
Yay!
But, yeah, for now, I think we'll have a quick break for 10 minutes, and we'll see you guys shortly.
Yeah, there we go. See you back.
Whew. All right.
All right.
Welcome back to the Oceanink stream. If anyone left or rejoined, hope everyone's staying nice and sorry, I was going to make a joke here about the Splatfest and how we're all refugees from it, but I messed that timing up very poorly. Anyway,
Is
we're
that
going back.
is that a new voice I hear? Goi, is that you?
It's the other person who does every stream because we're short on stream team members at the moment. Yes, it's me, Joy.
He's
Yes,
back.
we're gonna be going back here. We're gonna stream Hikari versus Re-Ink now, and yes, following that we'll also be streaming another one afterwards. We're hopefully both gonna be here for both of those, but for now we're just gonna stick with the present, and that is Hikari versus Re-Ink. So room isn't up yet, stuff is still being organized, so might as well just do a bit of casual chatting and. Yeah, I watched a bit of the last stream. Looks like it was quite an interesting set.
I don't know. How do you think about it? I was pretty hyped. Like at the end, I was like, I think they got it, and then they kept going back and forth, back and forth.
I thought the special lineups were quite interesting. Both teams had quite a love for the Booyah Bomb, that's for certain.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I saw a lot.
And yeah, I think I watched starting from the Clan Blitz match. Yeah, I remember. Oh, sorry, I meant the Clan Blitz Walleye match, but they never got to Reef anyway, so we only saw one.
That's fair.
Yeah, it was a pretty good set. Hopefully the set coming up is also going to be a nice set to watch. Obviously it's Re-Ink, which is the Solar Registrants team for this season, which has Rohan, Hydro, Raynor, Tigervan, and Nikasa. And then we've got Hikari, the classic over here with a lot more members.
Yeah, I'm more. I don't know. I'm more accustomed with like Hikari. I've definitely talked to them a bit more, but I do know the individual players for Re-Ink. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't know the Solar Registrants team as a team really because it doesn't exist until the season starts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, hopefully it's a good match. Also, I'm very sorry if anyone is tired of looking at the same 9 maps back to back because we're going to be doing that. A bit of a downside of not having a map list with and without a turf is that these multi-match streams do get possibly a bit repetitive, but hopefully it doesn't.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, you gotta live with some things. I mean, they decided that they didn't want a turf, so
I think realistically everyone is okay with watching the same maps every week if it means they don't have to play the turf wars. So it's the community's decision, and we're gonna hold that decision here for the next 2 hours.
It's on you guys. Y'all took it.
Yeah, but what it is, what will break that up is obviously we're going through multiple different divisions here, so we're going to see a lot of different players. We're going to see a lot of different strategies and play styles, and you know, even if we are seeing the same maps and modes, it's not going to play out the same way in the slightest. So
different teams, different compositions, right?
Yeah.
So I want to see how it goes from here. This is an interesting one. Hikari has definitely made their mark during the seeding tournament, as well as being pretty and I would say fairly new teams, even though they have players that have been playing in the Oceanink series before. So it's one for the ages to watch at least. I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say really because I don't have a big kill of my own to mention in the downtime set. Like we're still looking for one more member before we can start the lobby up properly, and then it'll be another 2.5 minutes before the match starts.
Oh, we do see him. Okay, this is new for me. We see Kidneys in here.
Yes, because Nameless isn't playing in this series for the Oceanink series.
Yes,
so...
I do know that, but I didn't know Kidneys was in the teams here. Was he in? He's in Re-Ink, if I'm not wrong, correct?
Yes.
Because I don't see her name in. That's kind of why I'm a bit surprised.
Yeah, it must have not been. maybe some stuff needs to be sorted on the back end here.
Yeah.
Maybe the member list wasn't properly updated, or maybe it just wasn't properly notified to the stream team. Either way there.
But at least that's one more player I can talk about, because Kidneys has definitely been an exceptional player on the field of Nameless back in the day, and Dynamo was the main pick. Like, if you don't think you have a Dynamo, you should be afraid because it's either gonna go out really well, or it's gonna be messy because both of you are gonna trade a lot. And that's interesting with Kidneys because her vast knowledge on the game is exceptional when it comes to the battlefield.
And yeah, obviously Nyterra here, been quite a veteran for quite a while now. He's probably going to be playing the Blaster a lot for the team, which, considering if they're going to bring out a Dynamo, it should mean they have pretty adequate turf control to make up for the Blaster's lack of it.
Totally.
Yeah, and from memory, I remember one of the team members, because I watched them on the streaming the seeding tournament. One of them was a dedicated NZAF player, which always means that you're never going to run out of turf control, luckily.
Not just that,
yeah.
you always have either a set of tender missiles coming in, or you have the protective ink armor to help you push forward as well.
Well, the
Both
third
very
kit
good
that nobody
options.
uses.
Yeah, true, fair enough.
Yeah, just I can't find my map list right now. There it is. Yeah, I can't really speak on Hydra. I know they're a member of the Oceanink, just the normal server, but I'm not very familiar with how they play, so I won't be able to comment much on that one. And
It's
I can definitely comment on Hikari, but I think I'm the wrong person for it.
Everyone has the ups and downs when they know about the teams, and I think like this is just one example, right?
I didn't realize D-Tom was in Hikari though, I must admit.
Really? See, that one was interesting to me. The only one I really know from Hikari was Abby and Sai. The rest were just coming in from me from a bit of like read up, you know.
Oh yeah. No, Miku's been in Hikari and around them for quite a while now. I think since probably the end of season 3, perhaps even sooner than that. Yeah, it's good to see the team kind of staying strong.
It's always good to see teams still together in that sense. It shows a lot of how they really worked their way from the bottom and then they stuck together regardless. Always good to see that.
And looks like we've finally got all
see?
of our members assembled, so hopefully we don't have to talk about too much else. But I guess we can start off with Rainmaker Skipper here. I'm sure we've all talked about it on pretty much enough, but yeah, it's certainly an interesting map. It's a map where some people are going to get stalled around the 50 mark and some people are going to get knockouts. And obviously I'd prefer to see the latter here, but we might not. And
that's fair enough. But we have seen a few of the games here before having a Dynamo as well. So I want to see how Kidney would utilize the Dynamo in this map this time. Because I don't think she's the first to play Dynamo here, but I definitely want to see like the different ways people can maximize the effectiveness of Dynamo on a map that is already so wide. How can you make it even better? Do you focus on turf control? Do you focus on going for slays, or do you focus on your specials more often?
I think realistically, it's just that its kill potential is something that you need to walk into would be the thing that matters here, because both of the pushes, both their entry points, whether it be from lower mid or from garden, I guess, they're both really protected. They're both really easy to defend from, I suppose. Well, the garden one isn't the easiest. That's the one at the very bottom of the map where the Rainmaker normally sits.
That's
that
true.
one is a bit harder to defend, but I can still see a Dynamo being great at defense there. And obviously we saw numerous anchors and long-range weapons have been really good at just shutting down the lower mid push.
Now that's something I would like to see, right?
Yeah, I did we didn't get this one streamed, I recorded it, but we saw Venomous Squids versus Too Fast Too Umi. I recorded that one, and Venomous Squids got a really nice push using the lower mid, just jumping across there.
Really?
Yeah, what you can do is you know how there's the kind of like a little ledge that's a little up, that's right beside the normal drop down on the lower mid. You can jump from there. Yeah, you can jump from there to the top of the unincoming path and skip the entire like death box that's down there. And that's what Venomous Squids did to get a nice 40 push, which ended up
That's actually very interesting to see. Now, I want to see how it goes on from here on out, because we see the teams here. We do see the Dynamo coming back. We also see Hydro on the ball point. And a lot of close range options, with the Clash Blaster being one of them. And on the other end, we do see the elusive splatter. We don't see a lot of scopes or, you know, charges in general, so this is an interesting one for me. I don't know what to do.
Yes, and we finally see D-Tom and Nikosar, their duel that went on for almost 20 seconds, finally ended in D-Tom's
Sai getting a
favor.
clean shot on Kidney though. Alright, real quick, we do see West trying to go back and forth, trying to slowly make our way in with the mini splat link here. Always a good option to have. And right here, Creamball also going to Stingray, almost getting down Nikosar in the Inkjet here. And well, a nice assist from the teammate here, cleans Nikosar out. Nicely done. Creamball going in for that shot there, takes out Kidney. It's really unfortunate. Kidney has not been able to do anything as of now yet, so I want to see something happen here. And again, Creamball takes out Hydro. Creamball is just denying all of their anchors or any of their hitters, which is a real shame. Almost getting caught there by Nikosar as well. Nikosar with the Inkjet though is really scary. Already, as I said that, we do see Nikosar getting a splat down here. Let's see how it goes from here. Looks like it's being camped out by Sire with the Tensor duties here. Unfortunate, but what can you say? What can you so, over here, Rain comes in to play here. They're going to hold on the point with a Stingray as well. We're not sure how this is going to play out because the entire team is spread out towards the left side. Tiger is a bit stuck here.
We do see Sai over there went behind the Stingray there, tried to catch them out, but does seem to be quite there able to. Yes, Clash does win a lot of engagements. You need to approach it from a direction that isn't directly in front if you want to win. We do see here Kidney does manage to get that, but we see
there we go.
Kidney in a bit of a bad spot, looking to shoot the Rainmaker as Sai comes up right from behind, stops that one from happening, but the Rainmaker explosion is going to be in Ring's favor now. Nick is back here with the Inkjet, trying to find a pick. Wasn't able to get the charger here, and does run
almost got splat though.
Yeah, almost.
People here going for it.
Almost on both ways. We did see
ping, no ping, okay.
Oh,
just going by the rain. Nope, Creamball actually gets spat out by the rain, unfortunately.
Okay, but you see Sai here was able to go out and just manage to get a trade to stop the Rainmaker. D-Tom here getting the Booyah Bomb out, does manage to isolate Reink's team from the Rainmaker there, which was a really solid play because as you can see it's completely stopped the push down as the rest of the team had to back off. Which means now it's Hikari's turn to try and get this back into mid and make a push at it.
Already we do see them trying to make a push back. West is trying to get as much turf as he can, but Ringer is just denying them. Kidneys with the Booyah Bomb here, denying them of any escape to move backwards from, and that's great because Nikosar was pushing in for it. And unfortunately, you get...
He went for the Inkjet, wasn't able to get the direct on D-Tom, and then went into a 2v1 between the Charger and D-Tom, I believe it was, managed to clean that one up pretty fast. And but D-Tom there, trying to find a pick, does get taken up by Hydro instead with the range of the full point there.
And that's really painful, because he lost his special as well.
Yeah.
And, we see Tiger going in for it.
Tiger does go in for it. Unable to improve the lead
double.
yet. D-Tom and that, no, but Sai still...
you get a full wipe.
Yeah, playing a bit of a Slayer Rainmaker there, I do it a bit from time to time, but usually it's not very good for the point scoreline, as you can see there. They weren't able to improve the scoreline over. 33 is still a very respectable push, however, but still very much could be improved further. Kidney here, a bit of an awkward situation there, gets a bit of a trade on the side, and we're seeing Bullpoint and low mid here, just trying to find an entrance into it, but how it wasn't able to. Tiger tries to go for the Rainmaker grab, barely misses it, and gets taken out. Likely would have been a point lead anyway. Likely would not have been a lead anyway, considering they were stuck in a 4v1 or 1v4 against when they only have a Rainmaker stuck up. It still was a payback. But we're seeing here Reen once again has mid control. Sai's coming out with a baller, gonna try and push in to give the Rainmaker a path to try and push in, potentially get that one. But Dynamo comes in and just slams the hammer down on them essentially. Nikosar here going for another Inkjet, but 2v1s, 1v2s rather, never the right situation for Inkjet.
Taking on the Rainmaker here, pushing in forward.
Yes, we're seeing they're able to push in now, but Tiger here with the does go down, so does Kidneys. Now Nikosar left is the only person up, does manage to stop, luckily within about 6 points of the scoreline, but we're seeing here now Hydro's left is one of the only people up. They do go down. Now the problem's going to be in their favor.
Seconds. He's going to hold it back.
Dynamo is going to have to try and get a jump on him. It does look like they do get the jump, and it's going to be...
saw.
Yeah, they managed to just...
the last second. It was so unfortunate.
Yeah, it was they popped it. However, I think they didn't have they should have held off on grabbing the Rainmaker for at least a little bit of a second, just to make sure they could have taken out the Dynamo. And I believe it was the Clash.
It was it was painful to watch when that bubble broke after the timer stopped, because that would have been the overtime. They could have made it work.
And yeah, we saw. I believe it was Tiger that got that initial 30 push. Just a repeat of really from the last stream from last night. Just going out in the middle into a middle of team and just getting a lead that the enemy team just can't quite reach. Not much else to say about that set. Yeah, we saw fairly good mid control from Reink for most of that match there. They only really started faltering in the last minute, and luckily their defense didn't fall apart. So first game goes to them, and we're moving on to Splat Zones on Albacore now, which is if there's ever a time to see Stingrays, it's definitely going to be this one.
I wouldn't be so inclined to say that Stingrays might be actually good for it.
No,
Because
no,
in
I
the
was
past few games,
I
I would
was
say.
yeah, I was agreeing. I was agreeing with you. No, I think you either misheard me or I said it wrong. So I'm sure we will have spoken enough about Albacore. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting map. I personally don't have a lot of fun with this on Splat Zones because I find that TC and Clams, etc., they do this map a lot better because they break up the mid a lot better. When you don't have that breakup of the mid, you can go from bridge to bridge with like any kind of mid lane weapon, and you can usually just overwhelm people with range. While I find that on TC and Clams, there's enough of a breakup in the mid with the barriers that the effective like sightlines of the map get kind of cut in half, and I find that makes the matches a lot more enjoyable. While Splat Zones tends to be a map where you just get like Tenderbrellas and Stingrays launched at you from the other side of the map that you can't do anything
That's
about.
really unfortunate though. When you're on the other end of that, you don't want to be on the other end. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, fun map, Albacore. Truly a great addition to the game.
All right, here we go. Enough of us whining about Albacore here because we're into the game now.
Yes. And,
I'm gonna expect an explosion here. Come on.
I would say Explosion is the best pick. It's a good one. We're seeing Hydra here sticks with the bullpoint, the weapon they know, and Cooper here going with the heavy deco, a weapon that doesn't see much usage these days because it's not the bubble anchor of choice over the Explosion.
Yes.
But obviously the teams are picking what they know and who know the heaviest instead of the Explosion. And we're also
already
seeing
we
here,
do see Kenny not
we're also seeing
following
a very interesting comp here from Reink with an Octobrush and a Junior. Both going down as I speak of them. I hope I don't have a video curse on me. Biyabon does get thrown towards Tempo, but obviously no follow-up and they're able to just walk away. However, Reink here has the immediate turf control. Hydra gets the pick onto the Dynamo, and the bubbles are coming out. Maybe
and that point really well though, because like it goes raka with that Spratling there, holding down that point. It's
showing why nobody really wants to play the heavy anymore, just because a lot of the anchors just give it a run for its money, sadly. We're seeing here now D-Tom and West both coming in. Big bomb's ready, probably going to be thrown on the zone. Luckily, Reink had a lot of members there make that big bomb be worth it. They do get the cap.
Down by West there.
Yeah, Junior even with armor is not a match for a Dynamo. However, Tiger appearing just out of the range and with the right timing certainly was a match for a Dynamo. Also, something interesting I didn't know is that Hikari here is going with double B, which I've seen a couple, which I believe
Set.
A great one for the CDS here, just because. Goes right into the when the rain comes out. All specials are being launched, and D-Tom does go down, and the Inkjet I believe does take out West as well, which means now Reink does get a fairly smooth retake of the zone here. Nikos trying to push in on the side, wasn't really able to do it because Junior isn't particularly known as a slaying weapon after all. And yeah, we're seeing here that this match is going really back and forth. Typically not what I would expect from this kind of from this map. Both teams here is kind of straddling the 50 score, and they're both kind of recapping fairly fast here. Hydra here is trying to find picks with his with their superior range, and they weren't able to quite find that one on the heavy. Looks like they're just going to try and avoid the bubbles for now. The BR bomb also is coming out here, going to go right into the zone, does pick off Nikosat here. And we're seeing Rink really having a lack of turf control here. The brush in the full point here is kind of struggling to do anything. Brush walks right into the Dynamo Flick, and we're seeing still very much a mid controlled by Hikari as their scored line ticks down to 20 and sub 20 now.
It's definitely going to be really hard, but I think the main key factor here is actually taking a Dynamo. For once, I'm actually saying that because it seems like they're the ones like getting the most turf into the zone, especially with the turf zone, the map so small. The spat zone is already very small, and you can see here, Kidney already denying so much of the ground with just like 2 flicks. Especially with the kill power, you definitely don't want to be on the other end of that. And Hydro is just like giving Kidney the opportunity to just keep doing what she does best.
Yeah, we do see here West going for the Booyah Bomb to try and get the retake. Was able to destabilize it, but the thing about the Booyah Bomb is that on its own it doesn't paint enough, and it's better used as a tool to get the enemies out of the area, as we've seen with the Dynamo. Sorry, I believe those Kidneys went down to it, and oh, nice Inkjet pick there on Crimpo. Actually might save the zone here. In fact, it most likely did now, and considering Hikari's numbers now, it's starting to get pretty tense for them because the scoreline's going to end fairly soon. Sai goes down, pushing in too soon. Scoreline's over. They're 3 down now. Crimpo's left the only one up. That's game for Reink.
That was really well played. It was neck and neck. They just had to hold the point from their losing end as well, mind you. They were at the back end of it. So it's a pretty interesting thing to see.
Yeah, we saw Reink had their numbers down. Tai got the inkjet pick onto Crimpo there, and it meant the bubbles couldn't be popped for the immediate penalty that that the bubble pop would have brought for the zone, and it meant that Hikari didn't have the ability to break in on the zone in time. They just didn't have the specials, and their weapons alone aren't enough to be able to break into a zone that kind of heavily
really
fortified. Yeah, it was a good timed inkjet and an unfortunate way for game 2 to end for Hikari. Moving on to Clan Blitz Walleye now. Going to be quite a chaotic one, I'm sure. Certainly a map of fast scores.
Oh, I'm gonna be honest here. I kind of wanted to see the what was that? I wanted to see a Dynamo battle because like Kidneys and they were like far away from each other, and it was kind of unfortunate. It was good though.
It's just that for the Dynamos to fight each other, right? It would have to be that one of them wants to take the front line, and that's not where they want to be. Because they want to sit around the ramps constantly, the ramps leading to bridge, right? That's where the Dynamo wants to be. And
yeah, that's exactly why.
That's opposite side of the zone. So they're never really going to interact with each other more than like a vertical flick that hits them for 30 damage or something, unfortunately. But we did see that both of the Dynamos there got good use in helping control the zone and get picks for both teams there. It was a pretty high-scoring match there. Both teams brought it down to sub 20. Anyway, moving on
exceptionally done.
Onto Clan Blitz Walleye. Yeah, this map is the kind where all strategies for Clan Blitz, whether it be you're just sneaking to the basket, you're using the ballers, or you're getting all of the organized clams, etc., they all really work out because it's got a clan basket that isn't too far away from mid, but it's also not directly in mid. It's that perfect in between where it's accessible, but it's not too accessible of a basket. And I personally quite enjoy this one on Clan Blitz.
I was talking about it just now, that the map is actually quite narrow, and that might be the biggest problem about this map. Because it just kind of depends on who's the more aggressive team who wants to go for the flank first, and that might always dictate the game. And I'm not sure about you, but seeing how Kidney was playing Dynamo and might not swap out, and Crimpo with the splatter scope, I think Hikari might have the advantage here with the splatter scope here. We're gonna see it down and like lock them down.
Well, the thing is, Kidney could easily just bring out a splat roller, or a carbon. There's no reason. Like, as far as I'm aware, they aren't just a one-pick Dynamo. They're going to easily be able to pull out other weapons that might be more suited to this. I think the Dynamo is a perfectly valid choice here, but if they need the aggression and they decide that the Kensal Dynamo with the Booyah Bomb isn't the right pick here, I don't see any reason they wouldn't be able to pull it out.
That's fair.
And yeah, obviously Hydra here with the bull point. It's still a fairly strong bull point map. Just because I think that the weapon itself excels here, and Beacon's also a fairly good pick here because most of the time, if you have the mid locked out, it means that your team can push in. If they fail, then you don't have to worry about it because most of the time your Beacon's Yeah, beacons can kind of help you. We do see though that Kidney choosing to stick with the Dynamo but switch to the gold one for the armor instead, while we're seeing that ultimately Tiger here going for the Stingray, while Crimpo here going for the Booyah Bomb on the heavy remix.
Already we do see a trifle, right?
Yeah, also another thing worth noting is Sai on the vanilla dual sculptures with two mains of special charge up going for quite a lot of missiles hopefully. And yeah, that is a tri-soldier. It's the Trine of ours, so they're going for rain with that weapon instead of armor, which I think both work fine on this. I wouldn't say it's the best tri map, just because Tri prefers maps like Inkpact, where its sightlines of the enemy are kind of distorted. While this map is fairly flat like Albacore, and it doesn't offer you a lot of cover to work around, as you can see. Not really working out in their favor so far.
Yeah, that's true. I'm an advocate of Trifle.
Sai does go down, but however, Crimpo here able to hold the lines. Hydra here gonna go for it.
They
Does
lost
get
two
betrayed.
Cannonball.
Now it's up to Nikosar to try and save the situation. And
Nah, there's no way he can move it in for that. He's gonna risk like another spat down, so there's no way he's gonna go in.
Yeah, on the retreat, they throw a splat bomb out now. Managed to catch Sai. That was a fairly impressive one. We're seeing Tyke here tries to get the punch onto Bichon.
Oh, Nikosar being caught up by Sai here. Unfortunate. Sai sees your sneaky little place.
Yeah, it also hopes that the dual scorches have about 10 whole points more range than a splatter shot. Yeah, we're just seeing mid control here. Now in Hikari's favor, they're just trying to get some claims up. They've only got 9 at the moment here. Just going to try and get a couple picks, try and destabilize the enemy here. Missiles are out on both of the enemies here. Is going to force them to go out of position, but ultimately isn't going to force the enemy to leave that position. It's just going to force them to move. We're seeing here that Kidney here going for a nice little vertical flick, landing right onto Sai, stopping any kind of flank push to the basket here. And we're seeing here that on the flip side here, we're seeing that Hydra and Nikosar here going for the flank push. The armor comes out, the Inkjet comes out. Booyah Bomb is going to be on the zone here, but they do manage to break past it. Sadly, Inkjet's mobility isn't necessarily the best and wasn't able to escape the Booyah Bomb.
A bit unfortunate, right?
Yeah, and the push is gone. Only at 74, not the most impressive. Wasn't able to sustain the push enough for a bigger score, but still a lead for lead's sake. While now Hikari here with the daunting 28 clams, but they don't have any specials to make worth of it. But if they can get some bubbles and Booyah Bombs on the zone, on the clan basket, it's going to be a very different story here. Tiger here looking to find the Tri, does find them, and they're just kind of holding the control now. They're gonna
Tiger gets it. Oh, unfortunate. The Booyah Bomb definitely stops that push there, but he gets that T-Tomb here.
Nice there
and a Tenta, and a Tenta. There we go.
Yeah, they did get them as well. I thought the Dodger might be enough to juke them out, but luckily their aim was able to readjust fairly fast here. And yeah, we're seeing mid control here goes back to Ring now.
Ring is dominating.
Hikari had a daunting 28 clams. Now they're all the way down to 0. Very, very disappointing result for their end. We're seeing here that Nikosar already in the base, just sneaking around. Doesn't look like anyone Hikari is really able to notice, but on the downside as well, nobody on Ring has a full 10 clams yet. Kidneys goes down, and I think had a sizable amount. Hydra does, Abby does manage to win a 1v1 against Tiger. And Nikosar's flank push has been thwarted by the looks of it. So yeah, now it's Hikari's turn to try and get some more climbs up and try and make a push in this mid-day control.
Alright, and right here we do see they're pushing in for it. They have 10 climbs here, and they've got to make something work if they're gonna push in. Hikari is definitely losing onto the front here, but they are starting to slowly push in with turf control here. On their end, especially with Abby, the Transfer Novu here. Any point the rain comes out, they might be able to do something here. There we go.
The bubbles come out. But we're seeing right now that only got 14 claims. They don't have a big claim organized. Abby had to push right into the enemy base to get a claim organized. Does look like they're, however, going to be able to do something here. They've been past the claim they need.
Oh, unfortunate Abby misses!
And that's a very bad miss because that is not one they can easily reach to grab again. The Booyah Bomb is going to come in. Is going to catch out Kidneys, however, Crimpo does get taken out by them before they go down. And now we're seeing, with only 30 seconds left, Hikari here has enough clams to be able to get a lead, but they need to be able to get all their specials again here. They've got the bubbles ready, but they don't have anything else ready at the time, and they're going to have to get some, because there's only 20 seconds left, plus 20 for an overtime. And, yeah, it's looking like they might be able to get it. but it's also pretty rare wearing here. We do see the try does try to get the dynamo, but ultimately wasn't able to get the pick before they were able to retreat. They did get punished for kind of pushing in that aggressively. Booyah Bomb forces Nyterra to get out of there, but he wasn't able to. Side does go down though. The very good pick there from Hydro there takes out two of them, now forcing Crimpo to kind of just evacuate out of the base here. They are pushing in once again, but Tiger does get the double here with Nyterra. That's going to be game now. Yeah, Hikari there had a good couple of opportunities, but they weren't able to get the numbers down to stop Ring from just being deny them entry to the basket.
It was really hard, to be honest. They had to really work something out with the turf control they had. They weren't organized enough when they were trying to push in. That's the whole problem.
I think what they needed Rain and the Booyah Bomb to be synced at the same time, so that they use the Rain to destabilize the enemy position, and then the Booyah Bomb to make sure that they can't leave in a certain direction. Like if you threw both of those specials around the top right, they would have been forced to be jumping down to guard the basket when the bubbles could have greeted them. Because what you saw that actually stopped that push is that Hydra was sitting up on the top right and was just able to gun them down. And if the specials were used to get Hydra down there, they would not have had the sightline to be able to pick off the forge there.
That's a very good insight, though. But anyways, yeah. Hikari is now down to 0, still at 0. Maybe not their best modes. Maybe they're warming up. I think they can do something about this.
It's also just being down 0-2 isn't necessarily the end of everything. It's first to 5, not first to 3. That's what you need to remember. This map is certainly one that I could see them winning, because I think they've got the right kind of comps and the right kind of play styles to be able to hopefully try and get some good pushes on this map.
Yeah, that's true.
And hopefully Hydra here can put up quite a defense along with obviously the rest of the team, but Hydra's anchor roles specifically have been helping out the team quite a lot so far.
So it's gonna be a battle of whether the Hikari can get a proper team comp up, or whether they're gonna be exploited by Reink here. Now that's something I want to see.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I like how Kidney switched on the Dynamos, actually. I thought she was going to stick to the Tony Kensei Dynamo for the most part, seeing as she was picking it for 2 games in a row already. And I'm not sure what incited the switch, but she knows Dynamo's best. I'm not going to judge.
Sometimes it's not about you're picking the weapon because you think it's what you want to play at the time. It's about what is best for the map and the mode. In any case though, we're seeing Kidney here sticking with the gold dynamo as Crimpo goes back to the charger here, and Tiger here sticking with the nice pick there from inside. I was going to say Tiger here sticking with the clash here, but they're already down. In fact, Rink is down 3 members. Hydra left the only one up here and is being increasingly pressured by Splatbox. Hopefully enough to actually get through the first checkpoint here.
Side with the Tony Kensei's release here is gonna make a lot of work, especially when you have ball on the tower. You're gonna be able to move in and deny a small area, which allows your tower to slowly push it. They're gonna have to be scattered as well, which allows you for easy picking. So that's gonna be something we can look forward to. If Sai can execute this well enough, I think this might work. But Crimbo says none to that. Picking Stingray, basically a charger of sorts, and tries to get something down with it.
We are seeing Abby here trying to look at the tower here. In fact, Tiger here has dropped. No, that wasn't Tiger. I believe that was Nyterra. There's Tiger saying hi with clashes. Clashes like to. Now we see here mid control turf-wise is very much in Hikari's favor, but
don't say that too soon. I was taking it back right there.
We do see armor comes out now. Now the rain comes out as well. Really stockpiled their specials. Yeah, and it's looking like they're going to go for the push now. In fact, they're currently Hikari is currently. They only went 1 down. Tiger was unable to find the push, and that's just planes. Don't worry, I'll sell the commentator for a bit here. Yeah, we're seeing Rink there went for a push, however they weren't able to get the picks in time, and now Hikari here with dominant turf control. Notably, I would say because of the fact they are running. Notably because of the fact Rink is running 2 blocks. they're able to kind of reach. They went past first checkpoint with ease, but they're choosing not to sit on it. Presumably because Kidney is kind of just raining dynamo down onto the tower. Not for much longer though, because the Stingray did manage to find a pick on them. One thing worth noting is that Crimpo is choosing a very interesting spot to choose Stingray from, because it doesn't really have range advantage, being stuck in that kind of corner with terrible angles. Really, you'd want to go from the opposite garden, but Crimpo choosing to hold that point. Nikosar does get the inkjet pick on one person, unable to follow it up with another. But now we've got both blasters sitting on upper mid, kind of surrounded in enemy turf, which is one of the most terrible positions to look at here. But the Booyah Bomb doesn't get thrown at the tower here. Nikosar does get taken out by D-Tom. However, the checkpoint does get passed by Tiger, which means now Reink is in a far more favorable position, because there's only 5 points separating the lead currently and no checkpoints. So if there's ever a good wipe in Reink's favor, the lead is easily going to be in their favor. However, that's looking pretty difficult right now. Nikosar does get the pick, the armor's out. Nikosar is hopefully going to try and get some picks here. The Stingray from Crimpo is making them abandon the tower. However, they're the only one up now. Both blasters ready. The Inkjet's at the ready from Nikosar. He's most likely going to try and use it very soon. I'm going to bet that maybe about 2 seconds. And we're seeing a bit of a beacon tower here. The beacons do get taken out, and Tiger here going for one of their own very Stingrays. But I do believe that, yeah, there's people that are going to attack the tower from all angles. That is a very
double split. Yeah,
that's a very dead tower now. But we saw that Reink got it all the way to 30, which is just shy of the final checkpoint. Very good push, not undefeatable, but a very strong push. Now it's back into Hikari's favor. We're going to see if they can get back and do the exact same thing.
Now, I remember I said Inkstorm, not Plainstorm, so unfortunately I was cut off for a bit. But yeah, we're back into it. We do see a takeover here. Back again, Nikosar holding on to the point here. Hoping to push in past 30, I hope. Because they are definitely winning the lead here. And it doesn't look like Ring's gonna stop. They're trying his best here with the charger here. Hoping to take something out. Unfortunately, no luck as to before, like, the first game. So they're gonna have to make something work here.
One thing I do notice is that Reink does have a beacon somewhere. Obviously we don't have the ability to check what happened with you on the stream, but there was a beacon somewhere. It looks like Reink is going to use those pretty nicely here. We're seeing Kidney here is using a liberal use of the Greats here to try and just kind of rain fiery dynamo justice onto the enemy that they can't quite deal with. Sidus kind of gets flicked right off of that tower. And Nikosar here just kind of trying to find some picks here onto the roof. Does manage to get hard here. Does get sniped also by Crimpo there. And we're seeing here now, Crimpo once again the only one left up. They do manage to get a pick on, but it's looking like they're going to have to retake it. With only 10 seconds left.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. As long as Hydro's on the tower, then they're gone. But Abby is pushing in for it, holding on the tower.
Get down. Now we've got both shooters up. However, it's really up to the fate of the blasters here. Only the clash is up, but it's a clash on first checkpoint. We know how that story goes.
Yeah.
They do manage to get one. They do manage to get two. Realistically, what Tiger should have done there, which they kind of did. Look, if you ever see right, the tower rider uses Booyah Bomb, what you need to realize is that you've got about a 3-second window to get on tower that you can just steal the overtime from them. I've done it before. It's really satisfying to do, and Tiger could have done it there. Ultimately, they didn't need to, but keep that in mind. If you ever see a scary little K-Pro throwing a Booyah, you can just sneak under their feet and steal their overtime, and they aren't going to like it. Yeah, in any case, though, that's another game point. That's another point for Reink as we're moving on to the next map. It's now 3-0 in Reink's favor, I believe.
It was unfortunate for them to actually like go under, because like they had it, but just because they Booyah Bomb to try and like get control, that was the biggest mistake they made.
Yeah, my bad. I don't have the scorecard open.
Oh, you can check on Twitch actually. Right,
yeah,
it's going 4-0. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just every time I want to check it, I have to reload Twitch, and then I have to watch a 30-second ad. Thanks Twitch.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's 4-0, which means it's now game point. Moving on to A map. Sorry, my brain is a bit cluttered right now. Yeah, very strong. Very strong performance there. Ultimately, I thought that the double blaster would end up kind of hurting them in the long run, because as we saw, Hikari had a lot of turf control for a majority of that match. However, we saw that what it did give them is really strong killing potential, and they were able to use that to ride the checkpoint almost all the way to the final checkpoint there. And once again, Hydra playing a pretty clean, Hydra and Kidney there playing their weapons respectively, playing a very clean backline for Tiger and Nikosar to work off of. And of course, game point here, would be Rainmaker Starfish. So I really like this map as Game 5 because it is quite a difficult Rainmaker map. It used to be the kind of straight knockout kind of map, and now it's kind of the straight I hope I make it to sub 10 kind of map. And yeah, this could really go either way for both teams. I think they both have the potential to make a good push here. Obviously,
Yeah, I was commenting on this as well. You know, when they expanded the map, it's a totally different map in one sense because it's not the same as Walleye Warehouse. Walleye Warehouse was a very narrow map. Now this is the opposite. It's a really wide map. How do you want to push in? Do you want to push in from the sides? But it's so big, so why would you want to do that? Do you want to just cut straight through? And it becomes a game of whether tactical advantage versus reckless abandon. And then it becomes a battle from that.
It also becomes a game of how much you can deny the enemy of sitting up on a ledge to stop your push.
Yes, that's true.
Hopefully we see a lot of bomb spam from both teams to be able to stop that from happening. And obviously I think that Kidney and Hydra here with their anchor picks are going to make this map very interesting because I think they both have really strong weapons for this mode. The bull point meaning that they have beacons to constantly keep up offensive pressure, and it's also just a really good anchor pushing in with. And then Kidney's obviously great for mid control and even better at defense because it can do it could just camp on the ledge and just shut down the push as soon as it. And Hikari, obviously, they're going to hopefully be able to push in against that. And we do see indeed the bull point and the dynamo stick around. And we're seeing Crypto here with the charger once again. We're also seeing double scorches and a pure special charge up ends up 89. Certainly a pick for the mode here. Hopefully going to get up about 10 missile.
10 missiles is definitely a new pick in the meta as of late because of Rainmaker, because when you can target the bubbles or the barrier itself, it's always a great option, right?
Well, it's not always the best option. What it is a good way to stall the Rainmaker shield or to pop it, right? Because let's say the enemy is let's say that you're basically wiped, right? And you've got 10 missiles and they're going to try and pop it. If you want to stall their ability to pop the Rainmaker in base and maybe get more time to secure mid, you can target the Rainmaker and then you can kind of either you can try and delay their ability to pop it or rain missiles down the organ for trying. We do see here Hydra trying to drop down to side to stop the Rainmaker. However, they do get taken out. I believe it was Kidney on Nico side that does manage to take that out now.
Crimpo's the last on the team.
And barely misses the snipe onto the Kidneys there. Bit of a shame there. We do see obviously Hikari is going to use that opportunity to retake to jump back into mid now. We do see Sai here going for the flank as well. Hopefully going to be able to get a pick or two, but Sai is unable to win a duel against a bull point. Don't worry, it's pretty difficult to do. I wouldn't blame them. And obviously Ring here in a perfect situation to try and just kind of push again. The charge is down, which means they don't have any chance of a Stingray. And as long as Hydra Nikus is kind of pushing ahead of the team. I was going to say it was a good opportunity, but ultimately it wasn't the right play. But now what we're seeing here is that the Stingray are able to get another couple of people. I think Hydra takes out on the side. Now Tiger's in a very good position to pick it up. The charger doesn't manage to hit them. It means they're going to be able to push even further now. And
but almost getting that shot though.
Yeah, almost. Sadly,
dangerously close.
We do see now, it's still not a great push though, it's only 41, which, you know, a good push on this map is really 20 these days. But Hydra here, sticking for a kind of aggression here, trying to focus on Crimpo, wasn't able to, pushing a charger doesn't always work. And now it's Hikari's turn to try and get mid control and try and push in. It's not looking like it's going to happen right now.
Tiger deck getting onto that Rainmaker. Sai was really close to the edge there. Maybe she would want to reset it next time because every single time they do it, it gives them an opportunity for re-ink to one push forward, two gain mid.
Realistically, that's one of the worst places you can go down with the Rainmaker because it's just secure enough that the enemy can kind of go in there and pick it up from. We're seeing here Nikosaki here trying to follow along with the Stingray to get back into their base. Does manage to, but for 2 whole points. Not a great lead, but once again Hikari to go back into their base to pop it and reset it, which means that once again Ring can get all of the mid control, which they're using quite well in second.
That's gonna be hard for them to push in from, but you know, with that Stingray out as well, it's definitely not giving them a lot of place to move. They really have to be a bit more mobile and versatile with where they move as well. And here we go, like I said that, and we do see Sai moving in as well, and Nicholas are trying to just hold the point there, Inkjet, but unfortunately get taken
Yeah,
out.
wasn't able to find a point. They had no chance of surviving that one anyway. Hydro here is just kind of holding the entrance here, trying to juke shots from Crimbo here. And obviously, Fed here going in with the ball up. Hydro played as well, jumped out. And realistically, I would say now it's the chance for Hikari to try and get some mid control. And it's looking like they're doing it so far. Tiger does come out with the Inkjet, but they go down, so does Tiger, which means effectively Ring's frontline is just, it's going to be up to Hydra, and Hydra and Kidneys to be able to stop this. Hydra does miss the jump, but it does look like Kidneys comes out with the ray on the vanilla dynamo. Does manage to save the push for now, and we've got Nyterra and Tiger back reinstated to hopefully get some kicks.
Very
and
close.
Stop the enemy from being able to get the lead. With only a minute left, there's a pretty tight scoreline on both teams here right now. Tiger here, going in from behind, doesn't manage to find anyone, but Hydra here assisting as well, trying to get a couple picks. It does look like Tiger going from a pretty precarious situation there, a comfortable splat or two. Trying to get the shot onto Crimbo here, but Crimbo proving that they just aren't going to get hit by any injuries there. It's like, what's more interesting though is that the Rainmaker was reset, which means now the turf control isn't really in their favor anymore. Nyterra gets a nice pick and manages to dodge the charger here. Gonna go for some indirect shots, manages to pick off the charger as well, wasn't able to find the landing. So Feb's the only one left in mid. Hydra's gonna try and grab the Rainmaker, and they don't get taken out by Feb, which means now Sai's only real option on game doesn't get it. Hydra does get taken out by the splat bomb there. They're trying
They might have a chance here. They might have a chance here.
They might, but they don't have mid control yet. We're seeing Tiger here manage to make quick work of I believe it was Abby on the CDS there.
Crim is trying his best to hold it down, and reduces Tiger going for it.
They do manage to pick it up. They
Sai needs to move forward, not backwards.
Kidney and Hydro. And Hydro isn't able to find it. They aren't able to. This is
They made it.
This is an
Can they do it?
opportunity now, yes.
They've got a bit of time left.
We're seeing Tiger here does manage to take out Abby here, and doesn't manage to take out the Rainmaker, such as the fate of
They have to go in. They have to go in.
Sai is playing very cautiously here, making sure that the rest of the team is managing to get the picks that it needs here. Hydra's kind of playing a bit feedy. The whole
This is what Hikari needs. They just need to push
see
it slowly.
Tiger,
There we go.
He doesn't. Yes, he doesn't. Tiger had two options to pick on which side of the barricade he was going to push out on. He picked right. The correct answer was left. I don't know if he would have made it in time, but yes, one splat bomb Hydra hooked into. That was the fate to make it to game 7. Which means that it's not going to be a 5-0 sweep here. Sai over here with the 15 splats on a full special charge, 98 or whatever, which is always a sight to see. And
I think you're just like going through. It's mind blowing, right? You gotta see it happen so fast. Like I said, reckless abandon versus tactical advantage, and I think reckless abandon got this one.
And yeah, we saw that last match was really just a kind of. It's kind of what you would expect when you've got two anchors on Re-Ink. It was very much a defensive kind of mid-based focused team where they didn't really go for many pushes. I think it was just because they didn't have an opportunity to a lot of the time as well. But yeah, we did see really good patience there from the Rainmaker there. They chose the right time to make the push. They found the opportunity and got the lead when they needed it. Onwards to Splatoon's on Anchovy though. Double Anchor can work. Yeah, Double Anchor can work wonders on this. Yeah, with Expulsor also a good pick. I was going to say Double Anchor works wonders on this map, but as soon as you get locked out of your base, as soon as you lose mid control, it can be a complete nightmare to break back in. So Re-Ink is on a bit of an uphill battle here if Kidneys does choose to stick with the Dynamo here. But ultimately, I would say this is a good map for their more standard roller picks if they choose to as well. In case so, moving on to it now, onto Game 7 on Splatoon on Anchovy. And we are indeed seeing that they do stick with the double anchor, and we do see there's your Expulsor, as well as the double dualies.
There we go.
We do see here, looks like Hikari, after finally finding a win, is going to stick with their comp as much as they can, other than Crimbo switching off to the Expulsor. So, yeah.
I'm going to start.
Yeah, we do see
Expulsor is like I would say it's like the artillery charger, the charger that's a mortar. And you know, I would love to see a few kills with that thing, a few splats to do, because that shows mastery on the Expulsor. It's always a joy to see it when you can aim it down.
Yeah, if we want to see a good Dynamo, we're only going to have to wait another 40 minutes, roughly, I'm sure. Oh, actually, it might be less, sorry. In any case, though, we're seeing it was a bit of a rocky mid, back and forth for the first couple minutes here. Has managed to win the opening here, which is very important for them, because now they can focus on defense, which they're hopefully going to be able to do here. Nyterra here, trying to pop the bubbles, but Sidus kind of pops right in front of them here. Just they're going to try and push on the Dynamo, and might be able to. Okay, they choose to jump out, which is a good option. Now we're seeing Krimpa here and Sai. Enough turfing potential between those two weapons to instantly control the zone. Tiger just isn't able to get a anyone, and now we're seeing here now the Booyah Bomb stuck in the elevator. Bit of a bad spot there, but they did manage to take out Fed because of it. Nyterra here kind of pushing it alone, not the best decision, while Hydro is kind of left trying to contest the zone on their own, which isn't working out for them.
It's not great for him.
Yeah, we're seeing essentially this is what I was talking about, right? Where you have, if you have double anchor, double kind of backline on this team, it can be really great on defense, but you have a real hard trouble actually taking the zone back. But they do have rain, bubbles, and Booyah Bomb, which they have used all three of them. So they are hopefully going to be able to get a fairly consistent grab on this one. But the bubbles aren't really used to effectively actually pop the zone. They were used for other reasons here. Tiger is down to Sai, and it's looking like ultimately Kidneys here on the Dynamo stuck in a bit of a bad spot, pretty much faced the entire rack of Hikari there, just trying to push on them too much. And once again, we're seeing that Hikari's overall turf potential is just a lot better than Reink's right now, and it's really helping them. Tiger here going for a few too many pushes straight into mid, should probably focus on attacking via the fans more, I'd say. Nyterra here going for the bubbles once again, hopefully going to try and get a pop onto it, does manage to exploit the bubble. And once again, we're seeing that once again, the phenomenal turf output is just kind of stopping Hikari from being able to ever lose control here. They do manage to, and more interestingly, despite the constant back and forth and seemingly being in Hikari's favor, they have not been able to get a lead yet. They're still 3 points held by Green here. Tiger once again on the zone, but this time does manage to find the pick, an important one onto the Explosion. While the rest of the team isn't up to be able to follow up on this amazing discovery, I suppose. And yeah, we're seeing Nyterra here with the bubbles, going to try and get the cap. Does manage to get it once. Finally now the bubbles have shown up onto the zone here. Nyterra here going for a bit of an aggressive duck playstyle here, as I like to call it. But it does not have the range to be able to deal with an inside when it's properly spaced. Also, another important thing here is that the Explosion has DC. I don't know if the teams have realized or if they're choosing to play on, or if there is DC rules that are applicable. But,
I don't think it's applicable at this point in time. It's under 2 minutes already.
I'm not sure exactly when it happened, but yeah, mine just... Honestly, that's a pretty big detriment for Hikari, because the Explosion was painting so much for them, and now they just don't have that option. Lead is shortened down to 1 whole point now, but Tiger got one of the picks. Wasn't able to find the other one so far, but we are seeing now that Nyterra and Tiger are just kind of cleaning up the rest of Hikari now that they don't have an anchor that can constantly push turf on them to try and stop them from being able to do it here. Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Tiger, I believe, getting that injured shot, unless it was me. And yeah, now that without a custom Explosion, Hikari's just left without any options to retake the zone, because it's just 3 shooters. And their special comp is like, it's Rain, NSAP, and Rain Missiles and a ball, which is okay, but it's not enough to recap the zone. And now it's 5 seconds, 4 seconds, bubbles are out, gonna take out Abby, yeah. It's a game. That's going to be the end of the set, I believe, because yeah, DC rules I don't believe apply.
Yeah, they don't apply.
That's
unfortunate.
Quite an F in the chat. Yeah, that's quite a big F.
Pay your respect for
yeah. Yeah, we need to pay respect for Hikari. The reverse sweep stopped by DC. That is quite harsh. It was a good game for them until that point, though, really, because they were all constantly having good turf control and good kills on their side of the match, yeah, and they were really controlling mid for most of it. They almost caught the lead, and then I believe it was as soon as Tiger got the splatter shortly afterwards. And yeah, that's unfortunate. Still though, from what we did see that match, I believe both teams did fairly well there. Oceanink especially really showing that double anchor still works plenty fine. As Hydro and Kidney both proved vital parts in the team comp. And Yeah, it was a pretty satisfying. Well, I wouldn't say it was the most satisfying because of the way it ended, but until that point, I would say it was still a pretty good set to watch. And yeah, unfortunately, it has to be ended a little soon. But won't have to wait
Yeah.
much longer, however, because
Our next
ideally, in
team is coming up,
about
right?
yeah, it's in about 6 minutes. It would be it's the big one. It's Morning Sun versus Midnight, Div One
Ooh,
match.
no, that's one I want to
Yes,
watch.
there's only been one other Div match match that's actually played so far, and it's it was Zeitgeist versus Cauliflower Crew. I recorded that one. That one went to game 8. It was also a pretty good set, but yeah, this is going to be a good set. And I'm just gonna yeah, we're gonna take a short break here just until the match starts. Sorry, I don't feel like talking about a big hill or playing multi-blood right now. I need to get a drink and just heal up my vocal cords a bit, and we'll go back in for another potential 9 games to commentate on. So
I can hold on the fort here.
Yeah, I'll just take a short break, and
Yeah.
we'll be back in time for the next set of matches.
See you in a bit.
Thanks, man. Hi everyone, welcome back. We're finally here, last match of the stream. It's Morning Sun versus Midnight. Gonna
Morning
be an exciting
Sun?
set. Yes.
It's such an interesting one. Morning Sun and Midnight. It's a bit of a duo, don't you think?
Yeah, I was gonna say, post and chat whether you agree that 7 o'clock in the morning is a better time than 12 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, we'll find out our results from the chat results. Anyway, yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Obviously, Midnight coming out of a semi-hiatus now, back for the Oceanink series, and obviously Morning Sun here, no longer having Sluke on their main roster, means both teams are going to look pretty interesting in this first week of the series here. And back on the same maps once again. Yeah, starting off with Rainmaker Skipper. I scrimmed Midnight twice this week, so we've definitely been the scrim partners so far. They've been showing some pretty good promise, and I'm looking forward to seeing from them. I can't really comment on Morning Sun. We obviously know they're pretty much the almost uncontested champions of the scene. So it's certainly going to be an uphill battle for the 7 in the morning. No, the 12 at
7 in the morning.
Yeah, the 12
Oh,
is going to have a bit of a uphill battle here, but well, it is an uphill battle, right? Because the time has to go up to go from 7 to 12, right? From 12 to 7. Sorry. Saying all these numbers non-stop is starting to mess with my mind. Yeah, we're still waiting on another person to join.
Alright, but I think if I'm not wrong, Morning Sun has gotten quite a bit of a reputation when they were in the seeding tournament. I think they mostly cleared the games with a 3-0, if not wrong? Or is it a 5-0, sorry? No, 3-0, because it's a best of 5.
I mean, yeah, that's just the kind of team they are. You know, you can take games off of Morning Sun, but the only time you can really take a set off them is if you're down 4 games at Supernova, apparently. Moving on though, we're finally at the start here with Rainmaker on Skipper. Yeah, just talking about lineups here. Atomic is the kind of midline anchor flex, and Medical is the dedicated charger main that likes Green Inkling. And I'm just going to mute my mic quickly and get my brother to shut up, sorry. But just as a quick aside, Giles is the kind of midline shooter, and Yasuna is a lovely.
Yeah, just like you said before, and I also said it before, Atomic is the dedicated charger main to look out for. Medical also as well, having a good flex in between here and there. Midnight has a lot of strong players in their specializations in that sense, so it's gonna be interesting to see how Morning Sun will deal with this. It is definitely a wonder to see 2 Division 1 teams duke it out, right? Because it not just takes the aspect of knowing your weapons and the map, it takes the aspect of your teamwork as well. And I would say that this is almost on par with the European League just a while back. So yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, and obviously here we don't see we see one team is very certain of their picks and the other team seemingly isn't. So hopefully there isn't
I think that's true though, because you gotta put it this way: Morning Sun is not a team that we've seen a lot actually. Has been in the game for like I don't know, 4 seasons.
No, Morning Sun has been in the used to be known as Yuri. They've been in.
Oh, is that true? I never noticed. My mistake.
No,
yes.
Anyway, we're seeing fairly standard picks for everyone here. Atomic on the Umbrella, Juz on the K-Bro. We're seeing here Ayo is on the Sloshing Machine, and next here on the Heavy, going down straight away to Yasuna though. Yasuna gets 2. Yasuna runs out of ink, otherwise I'm sure River would have been. Does go down. Very strong opening here from Midnight here. Mari being forced to back away, being Dynamite instead of getting everywhere. They're obviously going to try and stop the Rainmaker, and it does happen fairly swiftly between the Heavy and the Dynamite here. They've immediately gained back their plat, immediately going back in. Both the front lines pushing up here, and sadly there, it looks like Nex was unable to pick up the Rainmaker, delayed quite a bit of time. But hopefully it doesn't impact their ability to push now. We're seeing fairly swiftly that Morning Sun here is trying to get a fairly good push in, and you see that Revere here going very strong on the pushing, choosing not to engage the Umbrella, which is always a good decision here. And the Rainmaker gets pushed off the map, and Yasuna gets another 2. It means that, wow, a good push from Morning Sun, but quite an interesting way for it to end, that's for certain. Great push though, indeed, and it's gonna force Midnight to try and actually see how they can get it. One thing I'm finding very interesting.
They don't need to push, right? In that sense, they have quite a lead, right? They just need to slowly walk in, right? They need to like bury themselves off, slowly wall in. I mean, Atomic not picking Charger is interesting to me, but he is picking the Umbrella, which is an interesting choice as well because it gives you the wall, it gives you slowly move in, and you have a giant artillery in the form of a golden fish. So.
We've seen a couple of people go swimming so far this match, not really a map known for it, but it's happening nevertheless. One thing I do notice that's interesting about Morning Sun is that you see that their front lines are a lot more mobile in their positioning, and they're a lot more comfortable moving together as a unit pushing up above the charges, while for Midnight it's a lot less of a typical case, just because I find the team kind of works a lot more as a kind of a unit that works just fundamentally differently. And it's not really going up well against Morning Sun because they typically always get 2v1s here. Atomic getting pressured by a Rainmaker and a Sloshing Machine here, just also getting hit to the fate. And we're seeing here just once again, Sloshing Machine getting very... Yeah, we just see Sloshing Machine and the Stingray coming out here, just trying to stop Morning Sun from, to try and stop Midnight from being able to actually stop them. And it's working fairly well here.
Nicely done with Medical getting in for it.
Medical barely picking it up, going for the reset here, very safe option, considering the scoreline was about to be improved and possibly KO'd on. They're choosing the safer option of getting it out of there. But we're seeing now, Yasuna in a bit of an uphill battle here, as Nex and AO here are both really comfortable at just getting rid of any kind of ink that Yasuna will be able to use to actually push up on. And just in general, their comp gives them a lot of turf control that Midnight just is struggling to push into mid with. Yeah, we are seeing that Morning Sun does go down, but they're not able to really get taken out fully. And finally, a push opportunity for Midnight here, but they're going to be pushing up against the Sloshing Machine, and Yasuna just ultimately isn't able to contest the Sloshing Machine here. It's honestly not working out well for them at all. Meanwhile, same thing for Atomic, right? Because Atomic wants to use the Umbrella to try and pressure them, but Sloshers can just shoot over the shield and kind of negate any kind of pressure that the Sloshing that an Umbrella can actually provide for the team here. Not to mention stuff like that happens.
It's very hard for them to move in like this because as much as they want to, it's not easy when your composition is a bit too spread out in that sense. They don't have a focused I would say composition. They don't really have a focused idea of what they want to do. Compared to the other team, they are really just trying to push for turf control. At the same time, they want to really just like deny you of movement. So that's interesting to see how it goes, and it has been working for them very well. Morning Sun is running really, really well for that.
Yeah, we're seeing here Yasuna kind of stuck out in the middle of nowhere. Doesn't really have an opportunity to push on the heavy. Ultimately going for just any kind of way to try and escape the situation. Doesn't look like they're actually going to be able to do that. They're still stuck in the enemy base. Probably should jump out at this point. We're seeing also Medical here, forced to try and go for a trick shot, but isn't able to get it out in time here. Now Atomic and Joss here, do you manage to get the Rainmaker? But with 5 seconds left, Midnight is in a pretty tough position here to actually try and get an overtime push.
It'll be interesting to see.
Nex is about to bring out the Stingray here, and it's not going to be very favorable for him. Yep, there goes the Ray, as well as Revere pushing up. It's just Doomsday. Yeah, that was pretty concise. What you saw was just that Morning Sun had excellent turf control, and they had excellent positioning, and they worked on their team play really well. Their weapons synergized well, especially like the dualies and the Sloshing Machine on the front line there. And missing next there with the daunting 19 kills on heavy. That's how Inkers work. And obviously AO there with 21 on the Sloshing Machine, just showing that even if we want to pretend that the Sloshing Machine, the K-Slosh doesn't matter anymore, you can always still run it.
exceptionally good on their part though, because when they were denying them of movement, I think the biggest thing that they were doing, the most damage they were doing was to Atomic, and it wasn't even for physically damage. It was more so because since Atomic can't move around with his brother, all he can do is really wall himself, more so than wall part of his team at the very least, and it becomes a problem for them. So that was an interesting thing to look out for.
Yes, and moving on to Albacorn's Spartans and Albacore, sorry. It's probably going to be a fairly similar story unless Midnight is able to change up their comps really rapidly. Just because, honestly, I feel like the Asana's patented sneaky roller that gets in your face just isn't able to work against Morning Sun. They're really, really good at backing up when they need to back up. And we saw that time and time again that anytime Yasuna would be able to try and get a pick, I feel like every member of Morning Sun was always just instantly good at strafing out of the way and punishing the roller for exposing themselves. And it's going to be a tough map for a roller to do that on because this one has even less kind of cover for enemy turf to kind of be out of your eye from. So
Definitely.
Yeah. We're moving on to game 2 now. It's going to be a interesting one to watch, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Mario goes Explosher here, because I think Dynamo is still strong here, as we saw from our last 7 matches. But yeah, Explosher is just that little bit better, and we do see Just here going for the Force Squeezer, fairly interesting pick, and Revere going from Dualies over to the Mini, also a pretty strong pick, and we're seeing here in the opening here. Yasuna going for a pick, but once again, unable to approach them effectively. The supply zones get capped around them and they have to back out. Also, very interesting now, we saw, I believe that's a Nex on the Sloshy deck, if I'm correct. Was able to pick out Atomic, once again, just showing that Sloshes are completely denying Atomic's ability to use Umbrella.
It's a real shame that's happening, because I think Atomic had it going, but every single time he goes for it, he has the opportunity. It's just like Morning Sun is telling them, no, you can't have that. No, you go back there,
Yeah, we are seeing that they were able to use bubbles to try and contest the zone, but they finally did get it. Murray does go down, Yasuna is able to get the pick. And now Morning Sun is in a pretty interesting position because Revere is in the enemy kind of side of base. And oh, it does look like I believe that was AO on the custom jet does go down. So we're seeing now that Nex was able to jump on Revere, and now they've got a pretty dedicated base pushing happening. Revere is able to get taken out, but Atomic just isn't able to approach the bucket this session whatsoever. We are seeing
unfortunate, right?
Morning Sun has lost their lead now. It's down to sub 50, and they're able to keep a fairly consistent amount of control here. But they aren't able to really push up and pressure Morning Sun in their own base, which is what Morning Sun have been doing to Midnight. We do see Bull coming in from Murray, as well as the sloshing machine, going to be able to cap the zone fairly consistent here. Yasuna is in the enemy base, but I don't believe they're in a position where they can actually get anyone right now. And the rest of Midnight is currently kind of just contesting, trying to approach Murray, which is never an easy task. Just gets taken out in a 3v1 now. Atomic kind of going for a bomb rush here, does manage to take out, I believe that was Nex. And yeah, we're seeing Atomic here going to try and focus on this 1v1, but a classic case of just being completely pinned at both ends here. Revere going for the splat from behind here, comfortably in the zone. And yeah, Morning Sun overtook their previous lead pretty comfortably here. Yasuna does go for the splashdown, but wasn't going to work between a laggy environment and people that are ready and willing to cancel. That did not work for them. The Boomer does, the bubbles do come out, however, Murray uses the invulnerability of the Boomer to try and kind of cancel that. And penalty's already been applied to Morning Sun, so regardless of what happens here, it's not really going to end instantly. But what we're still seeing that Revere and Murray are just giving a oppressive amount of turf control in the favor of Morning Sun that just Midnight isn't able to kind of deal with.
It's really hard for them to do anything just because of the amount of control they had.
And what's even more interesting is that the typical matchup, I would say the Charger kind of really hurts the Explorer, but just due to the way that Murray is really good with his positioning and he's choosing the right side of the zone constantly to kind of be blocked out of the Charger's sight lines, it means he can just kind of constantly flick it over the plant pretty much and just be uncontested really. And we've seen now blasted through the penalty into a wipe. It's pretty much game 2 straight to Morning Sun here. It was a solid effort from Midnight. They did get the wipe, but they just aren't able to pressure Morning Sun and actually.
They couldn't capitalize on it in that sense. It was so good, but like the minute they got just that bit of advantage, they were starting to stroll back in again. It's almost like they took the advantage. They became overcompetent themselves.
Yeah, we saw great use of all the weapons there. Revere just being a great kind of use in mid, keeping up turf control and keeping up pressure and stopping the enemy from being able to approach anyone. In fact, what we did see is Morning Sun were running double burst bomb there on the custom. I believe it was a custom jet. I didn't confirm that, sorry, but custom jet in the mini there, and combine that with an explosion, you've got 3 burst bombs.
Yeah.
Moving on to Clan Blitz on Warlow Warehouse. What I can say is that on my 2 scrims with Midnight here, they have a very peculiar way of pushing in with Clan Blitz a lot of the time, and I feel like that's going to get them pretty hard. Yeah.
What do you mean by peculiar?
How about just having a roller rock up at your base?
Sorry, what?
How about you just get a roller and you put them in the enemy base?
It almost seems like they want to like forfeit the game by pulling in one of your members out. You're efficiently fighting a 4v3. It is not a good idea for that, right? I don't understand.
It depends heavily, because what they're doing is the roller isn't exiting the fight. They're making the enemy split their ability to decide on stuff. And if they try and focus on the roller, now they lose mid control. Especially if the enemy kind of overcommits. I don't think Morning Sun is going to overcommit to taking out the roller, and I doubt it's going to work against them, just because we've seen that Morning Sun has an impressive amount of turf control they're outputting, and more importantly, I don't think that a roller is going to be able to sneak behind them as comfortably. So
I understand what you mean on that part.
And yeah, with 7 seconds left, it's going to be Clan Blitz and Warlow. That's all I can really say. Sorry about the pause there, I was getting a drink. Anyway, we do see Revere going back to the Emperors, I believe it was, and Atomic here going with the custom dual Scorches here. Otherwise, no real. Also, Jazz, instead of going for the Force Squeeze, are going for the Force Break here. It's a bit of a safer choice. And also, we're seeing Mike here on the Kensa Dynamo instead of the Gold Dynamo, which I think is new. In any case, though, we're seeing turf control pretty indecisive currently. However, Jazz getting stuck in a 2v1 because of the Dynamo, and now Revere and Oceanink does go down. However, Revere was able to get the pick, and I think that mid fight was pretty much won by Morning Sun. I wasn't able to catch the action properly. I think the camera was never short as effectively. Mario does get the cancel here, and we do see that the Midnight is able to get an early score lead on them, but it's only a 74 push, which just isn't really going to help them. Mahi going for a clean pick onto Jazz now, and they're just looking to try and get the clams, get the specials up, and hopefully try and push right in. We're seeing that is next, I believe, on the heavy here, just kind of controlling on the left lane, trying to get a push always ready. Gets the Stingray out. They're now 2 down. I don't know where the rest of them are. It looks like Ayo is going right into their base with the sloshing machine, just kind of pushing them out. I believe he's got 1 or 2 of them now. Yasna kind of just manages to take them out. And it doesn't look like anyone's going to be able to pick up that extra clan for them. So what it effectively has meant is that the score has been tied. A 74 tie is not the kind of tie I'm used to seeing, and yeah, we still have heavy turf control into Morning Sun's favor. Ayo does go down, and Mario kind of holds the B album out, isn't able to find someone to take the throw at. Then we're seeing Jazz here kind of just trying to dance around in the mid control that they do have. Pull these bubbles from their side of mid, but doesn't really help them much except giving them really good turf control. Yasnik gets a pick onto Revere, and they're going to hopefully be able to convert some of these splats into some real control. Ayo does go down, and 2 rays come out at the exact same time, and looks like Mental does get taken out. Yeah, it's looking pretty difficult right now for although Midnight does hold the lead right now, they just aren't really able to concisely hold the mid control. Mario gets a double with the VR bomb now. It's looking really, really difficult for them now. The VR does go down. I'm not sure if yeah, looks like Mario is going to be able to get the score in. Obviously doesn't have the faster roller to be able to win the trade against Yasuna. However, Yasuna does go down. In fact, Jobs is the only one up. And it looks like that's a pretty decisive scoreline now. Went from 70 down to 20. A full 50 push there. Yeah, that's really strong. All from a couple conversions there on the double on the big up bomb. Just immediately, slowly but eventually opened up the basket for Morning Sun there. And we're seeing now that it looks like, I believe that was Air there, got a clean pick onto Medical there. Yasuna getting forced to kind of go for a splashdown, but immediately caught into pretty much the entirety of Morning Sun there, and got taken out as soon as the splashdown was over. We're seeing B-Bomb from Murray again, probably not going to be able to get a double, but hopefully it does kind of allow them to open it up again. We do see here, River goes for the injured. I believe they got Juzz, but I think that was Atomic on the CBS that took them out. And we're still seeing that mid control here is heavily in Morning Sun's favor here. They've got a minute to just hold mid. They've got 2 clams though, and it's looking unlikely they're going to play defensive here then. Stingray's out, and AO is pushing in. Morning Sun has got 2 people in mid, but they're not really able to do anything, because once again, Morning Sun's turf control is just completely dominant here, and it's not giving Midnight any chance to actually approach mid. Medical does get a pick on AO, but it's not going to be able to help them actually approach mid now. Juzz is kind of just trying to find any kind of picks. I think, yeah, Medical got the snipe on the Incho as well. But with 40 seconds left, they currently have no clams, and I don't know if they're going to be able to get any up in time, especially not for a 50 push.
It's definitely interesting to look at how Midnight is going to actually overcome this, because with 11 clams, it essentially means they have 1 super clam and 1 extra clam, 15 now. And how are they going to make this work is interesting, because as of now, it looks like turf control is going towards Morning Sun. It doesn't look like they can push in any other way, when the heavy splatling is just in the corner there, denying them of any space to move up from the flank.
We do see here, River going in for a bit of an altercation with Midnight here, wasn't able to find a pick. Now, although the clams are currently in Midnight's favor, Morning Sun has 2 specialists, the BR Bomb and the Stingray, and they're going to use the BR Bomb here and the Stingray both to be able to just completely deny entrance. Justice Bubbles here getting completely denied. He gets taken down, Atomic gets taken down. I believe River went through behind and finally got the picks. Yeah. We saw masterful defense there from Morning Sun. They had their specials ready, they had their members up, they immediately kind of destabilized the enemy team and just stopped them dead in their tracks. No push for Midnight, which means the score is currently 3-0. Yeah, we did see Midnight did get a couple, at least 1 good push in there, and I think they held mid control for a bit. But what we saw is that Morning Sun's ability to use their specials efficiently and get picks when they need to is phenomenal, and their team play is really good. So I find that Midnight, both of them starting with M is kind of screwing me up here, but Midnight was unable to really approach mid about 9 out of 10 times, just because if they did, they would immediately get targeted by three people on Morning Sun and just go down instantly. And
That is very true. They were, most of the time they had a team composition of like a pairing system, you know, like I have a buddy, you have a buddy, and then they keep going together. They fought together, they didn't allow you to move in alone. And I think that's kind of what the problem is, because Midnight has a lot of specializations in terms of like each one they know what they do with like a specific weapon a lot more than you think. But when you have a team, when you have to fight a 2v1, I think it still ends up being the person with like the team with more coordination will always take down your specialization.
yeah, pretty much. And oh, I see. They closed and remade the lobby because they skipped the map. That makes sense. Yeah. So so far it's been a fairly decisive match. Really, we've seen Midnight is trying to play crafty, and I do think they have a good team play, but it's just not enough to crash through the gates of Morning Sun's kind of overwhelming team play. And I find that Kelp Dome is going to be a fairly decisive match to see this, because the opening is fairly scrappy, but once one team gets past first checkpoint, we're going to see how much of a steamroll can really happen here.
So what do you think is the next few games gonna look like? Because so far it looks in Morning Sun's favor. I really hope that they can make something out of it.
I do hope Midnight can take games at the very least, but ultimately I think that it's just it's a clash really that isn't working out in their favor, just because, as I stated before, I think that Midnight does have good team play and they have good strategies, but they're very scrappy in nature and they revolve around like Yasuna. Yasuna is a roller. A roller is just inherently difficult pick to be able to be reliable on in a situation like this. And I think that Morning Sun's weapon picks are just really weapon picks and team strategy and synergy and everything are really good at just getting rid of the scrappiness in these fights and making it so that if Midnight doesn't have a concise plan on how they're going to be able to push in on the enemy team, they're not going to be able to push in on the enemy team at all.
That's one way to look at it, at the very least. And arguably so, because their team, they're not really sure what they're trying to go for, as it looks to me that way. And that might be the biggest problem right now. They need to find that sweet spot, you know?
Yeah.
Once they get it down, they're able to like slowly weave their way in. That might be what they need.
Moving into TC on Cub now, we're seeing Revere on the Range Blaster, and I believe there was also an Enzap here. Quite a mix-up from her team comps here. We're still seeing Nex on the Heavy and Ayu here on the Enzap now. Mario obviously on the Stingray Dynamo. And we're also seeing Joss on the Enzap as well. 2 Enzaps in one lobby, just showing how much they want armor in this match, I suppose. Here. The Asta kind of being stuck out on the enemy's treehouse here as Ayu just kind of looks at them menacingly. And we are seeing now that once again we've seen Juz and Yasuna. They're both kind of going in from behind, but they're just unable to really disrupt Morning Sun. They might get a pick, they might get some enemies, but they aren't able to stop them from just being able to keep mid control.
That is very true.
Yeah, we're seeing Udir here on the Range Blaster here, just kind of going and riding the tower, trying to stop them. Yasuna does get caught out from, I believe it was a mine on the tower, and they've got armor out, but I'm not sure if they've got any way to approach them on. Next, Juz does manage to get the Dynamo from behind, however, Range Blaster just clean that up real quick. And we are seeing now, however, that Midnight so far is kind of holding the mid control, but the Stingray is kind of forcing them. The Stingray and the Range Blaster both are kind of just forcing them not to be able to approach tower. And although they've gotten some picks, they haven't been able to get any forward momentum out of the mid control that they had.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, we're seeing armor does come out for Midnight here. Enzap's just kind of looking for a pick, but Mario's just going for the straight down flick to try and wipe off that armor, and then I believe we've seen Enzap on area that is able to clean it up. Mario just hiding on the block here, completely unworried about the bubble step, sorry. And Medical does get taken out by the Ray here from Nex. And yeah, that's effectively a team right now. Just calling out base. Mario's got a Stingray at the ready. They're pretty happy to try and finally get push going, hopefully. And we see here that we've got, I believe it's the Heavy kind of camping on the grates here, and then we've also got Nex just kind of going for pot shots on them as well, and it's just proving to be a perfect kind of strategy to lock them out. Then as one Stingray comes out here from Nex, just trying to get some hits, then the other one comes in just to kind of add some icing to that cake there. Medical does go down. Stingray's still out. Medical, no, sorry, isn't able to get anyone because of the armor. And it's looking like Midnight might be able to stop this push, but the numbers are still going down pretty drastically here. Medical is able to get a snipe, but it isn't enough to be able to stop the tower, and that's a pretty consistent game there. So Yeah, we saw that.
The execution was beautiful.
Yeah, we saw that Midnight did manage to hold a bit of control for a while there, but we're seeing once again that I find that Morning Sun here working a lot in kind of groups of 2s and 3s here, where the team kind of is really good at coordinating and catching people out, and we saw that beautifully here. Next was able to push up aggressively with the heavy. As soon as they got the wipe, they reversed a push that was going on first checkpoint for them all the way to a knockout. And it was a pretty smooth motion, you know. I didn't really find that anyone did any kind of like lucky shots or errors there. It was like anytime someone went down, it was because as soon as it happened, someone would follow up, and it was just a consistent motion there, and it made it just go straight to the knockout. So looking pretty shaky here, going to game 5 on Starfish Rainmaker, potentially game point to Morning Sun here.
I'm a bit afraid at the looks of this because I think they had a good chance. They're just not. They don't have enough time to like analyze what they're doing wrong. That's the issue.
Yeah, very much possible. Moving on to Rainmaker Starfish though, where I would not be surprised if this game ends in 2 minutes. This match is definitely one where it can kind of be a bit of a slogfest. But if you've got an organized push and you've got a good wipe on your side, then there's no reason this won't be a knockout. And yeah, we might potentially be ending the stream a fair bit earlier than we thought we would. Depending.
I believe in Midnight. I believe in Midnight because I want my games.
I would like to see them get the game. Yeah, but as to whether they can, we have yet to see. In any case, moving on to Rainmaker on Starfish. Sunday. And we're just going to see the weapon lineups. I'm doubting much change here. Yeah, we see Heavy Remix from Nex, who's been sticking with Heavy for a lot of these games here. Oceanink on the custom jet as well, in case one ray just isn't enough. And we're also seeing Deco from AO here, weapon he normally plays, but I don't think he's put out the set so far. Also, another thing I forgot to mention, Yasuo on the range blaster. I did not think this would happen, but I suppose on game point, you've got to change something, and the roller clearly was not working for them. We're seeing here that Revere here was going to push up on Atomic, was unable to find it, was able to get out successfully here. Yasna unable to approach Mario. I think that was a bit of a flank there. And yeah, we see one ray comes out, and one ray is also ready to be used here from Atomic. But Atomic does go down, which means that Morning Sun's still stuck in a forward position here, while Midnight doesn't have any real specials to stop this one. The armor's going to be coming out from Murray here, going to allow the rest of the team to try and push forward here. Stamp does come out from Juz, is unable to get Aega here. Yasna going here for the point-blank 10 missiles, isn't able to stop them, that's the wipe, charges out of position, that's game. And yeah, that lasted about 2 minutes.
That was painful to watch.
It sure was. Yeah, you saw that Morning Sun is really good at converting a wipe into a KO, because they're really good at coordinating and pushing forward with the team. Revere got 0 splats, it did not matter, because the rest of the team got the synergy and they got the dunk. And more importantly is that Morning Sun, Midnight was 3 down, and right as the Rainmaker was picked up, and Medical was forced out of position, and it meant there was no chance of stopping that dunk. Yeah, very, very clean matches there from Morning Sun. A pretty consistent sweep there, as per the norm, I would say. Good set to watch. Obviously, a bit painful for Midnight, but I think we kind of all expected a result similar to this. It was a matter of how much Midnight was able to throw off Morning Sun.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Oh well, it was a good set nevertheless, and
GG's to both teams.
Yeah, GG's from all teams from tonight. I wasn't here for the first set, but that was also a good set. We've been here for the last 2. So that'll be it for the set. There isn't going to be. I'm just going to double check, but I don't think there's any plans for a mega stream tomorrow. Just because tonight there was a perfect lineup of matches where we had one at 6, 7, 8, and 9 p.m. But tomorrow we've got one match at 6:30 and then 4 at 7. So there's not going to be a big stream like this tomorrow night, unfortunately. But might get a couple of different streams. But yeah, good stream tonight. Hope everyone enjoyed the sets. I hope my commentary wasn't too bad there. I think.
Yeah, tell me about it. I mean, like, both of us, we've been here for quite a while. I think we've been doing for most of the games for the past week, right? For the seeding tournament as well. So, like, yeah.
There's just not a whole lot of people active in the stream team at the moment. So if you need a match streams, you've only got a couple of people to look for commentary.
Or you know, you could just like message one of us.
Yeah, I don't consider myself a bad commentator, but I do also consider myself a great one. And in any case, I'm just going to wrap this up now. Hope everyone enjoyed the sets. Hope everyone enjoyed the stream. GG's to all teams, and hope you have a good time next week as well. We'll probably have to stream up tomorrow for at least one of the matches on some channel, and we'll probably call it here. So once again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you now.
Hey, thank you, Goy, for joining us.